Hey, what's up, Facebook and YouTube? For those that are viewing live tonight, it's Throwdown Thursday night, or as we say around here, Thursday night Throwdown. We're going to discuss NXT's results from Tuesday night, and we'll talk a little AEW from Wednesday night. And as I sit here with myself, the host, BBB Jason Rumble, and as always, Mr. APOC himself, Stiff Mike. And as we're live right now, I'm watching Impact Wrestling, and Impact has people back in the studio. So this may be something that later on, when we add maybe something else to start talking about Impact and SmackDown going on, quite possibly.
Well, I don't have Access TV, so I can't watch Impact. I follow it on like YouTube clips and stuff like that. They're not
Yep.
as I stated off backstage and off the air is that
Oh my!
shit. Whoa.
Oh, buddy.
Well, that's a kicker right in the old canyons.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, bro.
Sorry, man. Prayers go out for you.
Sucks.
I'll be praying for you, buddy. Wow.
He waited almost as long as I have to get back in the ring. The poor kid breaks his ankle. What the fuck? Who are you working?
And what did you do to break your ankle?
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking.
Keep it rolling. I don't know who you were working. Was it your fault or his fault?
I just want to know if it was a freak accident. What move did you do to break your ankle?
Because if I have to come up there and break his ankle, then I will.
What, buddy?
Probably his finisher.
Probably his finisher. Well, Uncle Pelly broke his ankle.
Yeah, because his finisher was not good.
New boots. Oh, you think the new boots did it? Why's that? I were the heels too thick? Were they not tight enough around the ankle area, giving you good support?
So I always wear since day one, since I started working, even at practice, I've always worn ankle braces, no matter what.
I want to know what move you did and what you were doing in order to break your ankle before I get to NXT. Little too big, I think. Oh, then why did you wear them? I'm sorry, man. Try giving you negativity during a huge negative downfall in your life right now. But I'm sorry to hear this. I'm such a bully. Sorry to hear this, buddy. I know you'll recover soon. Meaning you broke your ankle. Did anything like? Did it like? Did you have to stop the match? Like,
is it the work ankle or the right ankle? Because if the work ankle, we're gonna come up there and work it for you more.
Yeah, I'll do a Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you can be Brian Pillman in your house.
Just make sure you got a water gun filled with freaking beer.
LOL. Just a slip, brother.
Oh, it's the right ankle.
Match was great. Oh, so you finished. What type of break was it? Like a snap that bang, oh my God, I'm not walking, and it's like Joe Theismann, like I'm inquiring minds want to know.
When he was going for a finisher, he probably snapped his ankle.
JD seems to think when you were going for your finisher, you snapped your ankle. All right. So we move to this week's NXT. As we all know, it was moved to sci-fi for the next couple of weeks because of the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Uh, it's basically the first wrestling pro.
So these are all taped, by the way.
Really, the
Yeah.
funny thing is, with it being taped, how come none of this stuff is leaked?
Oh, it's been leaked. I knew Dakota was turning on what's her face, and I knew Joe. I know what's going to happen next week with Joe and Canyon Cross because they had to reshoot that angle because they were Hardy's name.
Wow. So, man, I'm not feeling that tape thing. Why are they not doing these episodes live?
Because I think it's something to do with sci-fi, and they have to fit it into their schedule. From what I understand, that's why it's taped because they're not sci-fi doesn't really want to go live. I don't know. It's something to do with the channel. Like USA doesn't have a problem with it because it's always on USA Live and they block off the time. But because the Olympics came up, I guess from what I've read is that they're throwing in that time slot, which they knew the Olympics were coming up. They could have planned for a little bit better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Uh, Seen some interesting things. The opening contest had Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa against Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan. And from you and I, we can definitely attest that Ciampa and Lorcan have locked horns on numerous occasions.
Oh, they love to
Whether
beat the shit out of each other.
exactly, they train together,
Well,
and
that would be just like you and I get in the ring and just killing each other, and that would be it.
yeah, exactly. I agree. Uh, what did you think of the match?
I it was a hard hitting match. It was a good match. Ciampa's getting back to where he used to be, which is
Yeah,
that gritty heel. Unfortunately, they're not heels; they're faces. But he's getting that. He's got that grittiness back to him, which I like. I like Ciampa when he was the best heel in the business, and
yeah,
probably is the best heel in the business when he came out with no music and got booed out of the fucking building. So he's getting back to that, and that's a good thing because, as I stated last night, he's very unhappy in WWE right now. So, um,
so you you believe he's
sorry,
going to ask for it? You believe he's going to ask for his release?
no, but I think he's going to give some pushback and want to be used in a different way, and I don't blame him. Before his neck injury and his knee injury, he was top dog in the game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He was the hottest thing going in wrestling. So I mean, if he didn't get hurt and he kept on that hot streak, MJF wouldn't be even discussion about the best heel in the business because Ciampa was it.
Yeah.
Down. When you come out to no music and you're getting booed out of the building, yeah, without a doubt. And from what I understand, he never wanted to go face. He wanted to be a heel all along, and he should be. He's a great heel.
Yeah, it's just funny. Tommaso keeps on getting stuck in the tag team thing too.
Yeah, well, that's what he's upset about. He doesn't want to be the tag team, and nothing against Thatcher, but Tommaso wants to be on top of WWE. He wants to be on top of NXT. He wants to be the champion, and I don't blame him. He deserves it. That kid has worked his ass off to get to the WWE and to get in the mainstream wrestling, so he deserves it. The much crap and the many no's that he's gotten from WWE and finally got a yes at 36, 37 years old?
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? He deserves it. He deserves everything he wants. He should get.
Well, I can tell you this. You usually don't get a second chance, and he was in developmental at one point in time with Kofi, and he asked for his release. He was unhappy out down in OVW.
Yep.
So just to get that,
Okay, so this brings me back to last night when I said about Keith Lee. So Ciampa asked for his release in OVW, got it, went back on the independent scene, made himself even bigger than when he was before he got signed the first time, and then they re-signed him. And that's what Keith Lee needs to do. Keith Lee needs to build himself back up to where he was before he got signed the first time. And
Yeah.
this time, when he gets re-signed, is not take no for an answer or let Vince shit on him because of his weight and his size.
So off the beat, just watching Impact go to a commercial. Out comes Falaba, who I'm interviewing in a couple weeks, and he tags with this week with what used to be known as No Way Jose, and now is just known as
No
No
way.
Way. Yes. And behind him was a line of conga dancers.
We'll see how long that gimmick lasts before he gets a cease and desist.
Yeah. And the funny thing is he basically took Adam Rose's gimmick.
Which
And you would,
they didn't learn from the first time that it didn't work.
yeah, exactly.
They're not learning. They're not learning again.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, so I thought the match was hard hitting between. I like Pete Dunne, always have. Big fan of Pete Dunne. Biff, don't call me Busick anymore. Only Lorcan. I'm a fan of his.
He's another one
And
that's worked his ass off to get where he is.
exactly.
Many times he's been on the chopping block to be released, and he turned it around.
Yep. Bleacher Report gave it an A-. It was for a tag team match. It was hard.
It was a good match. It was. What I like about NXT is that they started off the show with wrestling. It's very rare you'll see them start off with a promo. Even the whole Regal angle, they waited till the middle of the night to do that.
Yeah.
They didn't start off with it, which is great.
That it was. This was a battle of brawlers and technicians that truly stood out thanks to the uniqueness of the old school styles of wrestling. What matters most in the ring is variety. Matches like this are fun to watch because there is nothing else like it. The tag team maneuvering throughout made clear these teams knew each other well, even if they aren't traditional tandems. The return of Holland, and that's right, at the end of the match to make everything turn over to get the pinfall. I believe it was on Ciampa. We see the return of Rich Holland, and it seems like he's taken over for Oney Lorcan's tag team partner. So now this group is back to 3.
Well, he's. They're saying he might be done for good. His shoulder's that bad.
Oh wow.
I guess it's 2 different places.
Danny Burch, right?
Yeah. Well, Danny Burch is what, 44, 45 years old?
Yeah, he'll go back. They'll probably put him on as a producer to NXT or NXT or NXT UK. I'm looking forward to seeing Walter versus Ilya Dragunov at the NXT pay-per-view.
Takeover. Yeah, that's going to be a good match.
Yes, it is. I've seen their first battle. It was about a year ago in NXT UK. Very good. Ilya Dragunov is a good worker.
It warms my heart when Walter throws those hands. I'll tell you.
I bet it does. I bet it warms Rick Fuller's heart too.
Oh yeah. Well, who do you think taught me how to chop?
Yeah. You know, well, even if he didn't chop you, I think we all took a few chops from Rick Fuller, and even if you learn by the way you get hit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, just to talk about Fuller for a few minutes because I like Fuller. You know that when he says "chop me back," you've earned his respect.
Exactly. Exactly.
Me and him
Uh,
have had some battles in the ring, chopping each other. So
so yeah, basically the second segment they waited till after the first match, and the second segment was the, so to speak, uh, Joe resigns as the NXT enforcer, and he had those three stipulations. And one was that he quit. Two was that he become an active roster of the NXT once again. And the third, as we found out, was Regal giving him and granting him the championship match against Karrion Cross at NXT Takeover, which ought to be interesting. And
well, so let's touch on that for a few minutes.
yes,
So from what I've read today, because I had nothing else better to do but read the dirt sheets, which half of it's bull crap, but whatever. There is a feud coming with Karrion Cross and Mr. Jeff Hardy. So
okay,
him losing to Jeff Hardy is part of a storyline. It's not him being buried like some people said. I do believe that part of it was a punishment, but there is a storyline coming, and Charlotte is going to be thrown into that storyline. His girlfriend, Scarlett, whatever.
yep,
He will lose that title at Takeover 36, and
okay,
Joe will be the new NXT champion. You can almost guarantee it, because by that time Hardy should be back from COVID.
yep,
So it makes sense. I think Joe would probably be the only one that could take the title in reality. If you're really looking at it as a reality-based storyline, which they should start doing more of, because in our reality, who's going to beat Cross?
yep,
There's only a few people that would actually legitimately beat Cross in NXT. It would be Bronson Reed. It would be the kid from Hit Row, and
yep,
probably Keith Lee if you went back.
yep.
Other than that, he's
Agreed.
beating everybody else. So I like what they're doing with Joe. You know, he was provoked, and he's actually was cleared. I heard he was cleared the day he signed back with WWE. That's why they re-signed him, because he got cleared.
Yep.
The reason why they let him go is because he wasn't cleared to work,
Yeah, yeah.
and they didn't want to keep him as an announcer.
Exactly. And they probably were paying him too much money to sit there and call matches.
Exactly. So
It's understandable.
you know, a lot of these people on Facebook land and TikTok land that, you know, shit on the way WWE does business, and you know, and doesn't get that AEW is just an independent fed, but fucking what Brighter Lights is beyond me. I'm sorry. Like, today was just a fun day for me because I was trolling everybody. It was great. You know, if you're paying somebody $1.2 million or whatever Joe was getting, I think Joe was getting close to $1 million a year.
Yep.
You can't wrestle, and you got him sitting there doing announcing. You're paying too much money for a talent that should be in the ring.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that.
You know,
And then to go on further, NXT's breakout tournament sees two locals, one formerly known as Christian Casanova, now known as Carmelo Hayes,
the
versus
timing in that match was completely off.
really.
I thought so. I thought there was a lot of hesitation in the beginning of the match, and then the middle got better, but the two big bumps that Hayes took for Briggs, that boot that flipped him upside out,
Yep.
and that big giant choke slam,
Yep.
those were good.
I think maybe at the beginning to myself, it did look a little shaky,
It
but
did, and
can
it
I?
shouldn't have been because how many times have them two worked together?
Yes. I think that they knew all of New England was back looking at them,
Of course,
guaranteed.
of
Yeah.
course.
Uh, I think Josh Briggs, his selling and facials were impeccable in that match. He sold everything like $1 million. The facials he had when he would be down selling in the ring, point on. I thought me myself, I thought it was a great match. Proud to see two guys I know uh, tearing it up and entertaining the fans not only of the Capital Wrestling Center but worldwide on the
Like I
USA
said, I
Network.
thought the beginning of the match was a little shaky. That's all. It
Yep,
got better as it went on.
yep.
Uh, Josh Briggs looks like crap.
I think they wanted him to put weight back on. I think he was too skinny in the Indies.
Well,
Mike,
said,
he was a 325-pound offensive lineman for UMass.
oh, I know that.
You know what I mean? And I think I think that they had too many skinny looking bearded long hair guys, and they didn't need another. God rest his soul. They didn't need another Luke Harper, or you
Right.
know,
But if you're playing on weight is one thing, but getting bitch tits is another.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what happens when you get a little big, and you're not on the juice, or you're not,
Right.
So
Overall, I give the match an A minus. Because, like I said, the beginning to me was shaky, but it got better as it went on.
yeah.
I do believe Carmelo Hayes is going to win that match.
After seeing Josh Briggs put him over, yes, because like Briggs, I'll be honest, now Briggs should have won that to me, and
Yeah. In our reality, size difference, you should have won it. Yeah.
hell yeah. And the reason being is because I like Carmelo Hayes, but let's just face it, when you go up to the Vince McMahon main roster, Carmelo Hayes better hope Vince McMahon's in a retirement home because guys his size and wrestle his stature are not guys that Vince McMahon tends to heavily put over.
Right. But you also have to look at it this way. He carries himself with a chip on his shoulder when he comes to that ring.
Yeah.
He likes.
Yeah,
He doesn't have that. A lot of guys in that position and that young, and believe me, he's young, 27 years old. They have that deer in the headlights kind of effect, and nothing's really shaking him right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting in the ring. Your second match on NXT, you're in the ring with Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And you're slapping the taste out of Adam Cole's mouth too. On top of that.
And I believe the guy named Ricochet exuded the same type of attitude and things of that nature, and it got him in the doghouse. You know what I mean, to a certain extent. Now he worked his way out. I'm just saying myself, in my own opinion, and from my eyesight, I'm hoping for his sake that Vince is done by the time he really looks to go up.
Well, I don't think you're going to see him go up anytime soon.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna slowly build him because he, for him to get the push that he's getting right now, that's a good push.
Yeah.
That's a real good push.
I'd like to see him stay another 2 years at least in NXT.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him I'd like to see him be a Triple Crown winner in NXT. I'd love to see him get a singles title, That would be the low grade one that they have. I'd love to
North
see him
American.
get in a faction and win the tag team belts, and then discover that he's too good for the faction and win the NXT championship.
Well, if they put him over for the breakout tournament, he's going to be well on his way.
Yeah, because the breakout, oh, the breakout tournament winner, he gets a title shot of any
Yep.
title he wants. Yeah. So yeah, they get. I'm this match analysis. I will read. Bleacher Report graded it a B. I'm right there with them. A minus B is right there with them. They say that this was easily the best match of the tournament to date. Hayes played his role well, working from underneath against the much larger competitor. Briggs had more he needed to show and did make some impact. However, this was primarily Hayes' match. I disagree. Uh, while it did get more time, this contest should have felt more dramatic than it was. Biggs is a serious talent who can make an impact sooner than later. However,
I
uh,
disagree with that.
despite dominating the pace of the match, he never looked close to a win. I disagree with that because Briggs looked like he should have won a couple different times. Hayes versus Hudson has potential, but it's important that the two find it a steady pace and tell a story. Now, what are you going to say that you don't think Josh Briggs has what it takes?
Not right now. He's got that Mike Hollow mentality still. That his shit don't stink. I heard that he's gotten a lot more humbler since he's been down there, but he still. I've also heard he still has that chip on his shoulder that Mike Hollow put there.
Well, I just watching me just myself taking the Mike Hollow out of it because I I don't listen. At one point in time, we all weren't the biggest fans of Mike, but
Nope. I
and
don't. I've had numerous conversations with Mike. I've had Mike in my school as a guest trainer, so I don't have any heat with Mike anymore. I'm just saying that you know how Hollow is sometimes. He gets in your ear and he makes you think you're the biggest thing since sliced bread. Then you
yeah,
fall in your face. That's
yeah.
what. Yeah.
I believe that too, and I think the other thing that sometimes like Briggs competed at top level college football. He has a different mentality and makeup than some people do, and if some people don't carry that chip, they feel like it would set them back. Now, I remember when Briggs started with Bo, and he was a good kid. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, he went to chaotic, and he did get a big head, and I understand that. But at the same point in time, and just hear me out. Do you know that people from Walter Killer Kowalski's school that people hated us because they felt that you, I, Bo, Wagner, anybody from Killer Kowalski's just had a chip on their shoulder and felt that they were better than everybody else?
Well,
Have you ever heard?
we
Like
did.
I'm just
We
saying.
did. We
What?
did.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
did.
yeah,
But we also backed it up with our work in the ring.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like we could carry a chip on our shoulder saying we're from Kowalski's and then get in the ring and shit all over the place, but we didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. But my issue, it's not really an issue. It was at one point, is that he had said to one of my students that went to a chaotic school, he kind of shit on me. And I wasn't having any of that.
yeah.
So next time I saw him, I got right in his face. I said, I don't know who you think you are, but if you shit on me and my school again, you and I are going to have a major issue because I'll work circles around you blindfolded. And he got the point right away. Don't you know what I'm saying? You want to shit on somebody, be careful who you shit on.
Yeah, I get
Don't
you.
have that Walter chip.
Uh, I thought watching him last night, the only thing that's realistically holding him back from being a big star, I believe his body makeup. He looked like Justin Bradshaw. I actually liked the fact that he was a little thicker. He reminded me of
He actually looks like you're probably gonna go, I'm high, but and I could be. He looked like they just pulled him off the street and put him in wrestling gear and said, go out there and work. He's nothing. There's nothing about him right now that stands out to me. He cut his hair. He looks like an average Joe Schmo that was drinking a couple beers at a bar and he needed somebody to fill a slot. That's what it looked like.
his selling and his ring presence stood out to me.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, if I was a average fan and didn't watch it
Yeah.
every, or not in the business and didn't watch it to critique it, I'm like, who the hell is this schmuck? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing about him that stands out.
He reminds me of JBL with black hair, with his hair short like that and his body thickness.
Yeah, but JBL, but JBL, you knew JBL was a badass as soon as he walked through the curtain.
Exactly.
He had that. He walked with that purpose, that attitude, like I'm gonna rip your face off. And JBL's a dick in real life. We all know this.
Yep, and
You know, I've had a few runs in with JBL when I drove Walter to Raw, and when he found out who I was with, his tune changed in 2 seconds. But it is what it is.
yeah.
You know? So, I mean, that's the only issue I have. His ring work was incredible. I'm not saying that it was bad. I just think that he looks average, and
Yeah.
he really should either grow his hair back out or do something different to make himself stand out. That I am a professional wrestler.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like his short hair.
Right.
I don't know why they had him do that.
You know, I mean, my, and that's the same with me. When I wasn't in my face paint, nobody knew that I was a wrestler. So until I decided to take the paint off and wrestle as myself, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to a segment that pits Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez go out to the middle of the ring, and basically it's a call out for any girl in the locker room to answer the challenge to see who the number one contender is going to be. And no girl answers the challenge. Then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, the big mafia kick goes to Raquel Gonzalez's head, and Dakota Kai lays the belt on top of her and says, "I'm the next person." You know what? I just want to talk about real quick before you talk about this. That it was funny when she says, when Raquel Gonzalez goes, "Who's next?" And they started going, "Goldberg, Goldberg, Goldberg." I found it funny. What'd you think about this segment?
Rumor has
Oh,
they're pulling her.
who's next? And it was Goldberg. Oh no.
The rumor has it that Gonzalez is going up, so I got a feeling that she's going to lose that title.
Is she going to SmackDown or Raw? Or will it be something that they wait for the draft to announce?
Well, considering that TakeOver's the night after SummerSlam, probably wait till the draft.
Yep.
Hey, Daddy.
I would like to see her.
And then LeBron.
Yeah.
Raw needs a lot of help, so anybody from NXT that's due to go up is probably going to end up on Raw.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate because McMahon's there, and it's going to be a rough waters for them for a while.
Like, it's funny.
I don't see anybody going up, even Cross, that's going to make a huge impact right away.
I think it's funny that if you're from NXT and you go to Raw, you get shit on. If you're from NXT and you go to SmackDown, you're over like Rover.
That's because Fox has a lot to do with the writing. That's why Fox wants an edgier program.
Yep. Yeah, I
That's
thought
why.
that.
That's why Roman Reigns is not leaving Fox.
Well, I just want to wait and see on this one because I think the only way that they can make Monday Night Raw relevant is by Roman Reigns appearing on Monday Night Raw,
Then
and
they
I
need to.
believe
They need to combine the belts and be one belt. Then
that's what should happen.
Fox does not want to let Roman Reigns go, and right now Fox is paying WWE a lot of money for their product. I believe me when I tell you what Fox wants, Fox will get. The reason why he's on SmackDown is because Fox wanted him in the first place.
Yeah, I know. They asked for him,
So,
but then again, they might have to put him on Raw. And he might have to work SmackDown too. You know.
well, he is the best heel in the business.
So then we move on in NXT, and all of a sudden, I must have missed something because now the Robert Stone brand is affiliated with Frankie Monet and Jesse Camilla,
well, that
and
happened last week, or
yeah,
that happened 2 weeks, no, last week, because the week before her partner turned face because she's going up to SmackDown or to Raw, and that's why Mandy Rose is on NXT. They did a trade.
and what did they do with what's her name there, the bodybuilding chick
Which one?
that was with Mandy Rose?
Brooks? I don't
Yep,
know. I have no idea.
it's like she just disappeared.
Yep.
Interesting. So this Caden Carter and KC Canizaro end up facing Monet and Camilla, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't think the match was all that. I thought it was probably the worst match of the night for
Do you know why it was?
NXT.
Do you know why? Do you know why it was the worst match of the night? Because it's Frankie Monet. She can't work. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and she needs to change her gear because her freaking fupa sticks out every time she's got that gear on.
And to think that's Johnny Morrison's wife.
Yeah, and she got a fupa, right?
Yeah,
Aren't you glad it's just you and I tonight?
yeah, that's funny. So the ending of that match was quite unusual. It's very
Yeah.
sloppy, I thought. You got Robert Stone throwing his man purse at Frankie Monet, and then Monet getting jobbed out to basically lose to Canizaro and the girl with the weird looking eyebrows. I guess
So,
that's a new thing to make your eyebrows 3 different colors.
yeah. Well, you know what 3 colors they are, right? You know,
No. The what?
her gate swings both ways.
Ah, man.
She came out like 3 weeks ago. So did Tony Storm,
Oh, great.
which makes it even more that I like Tony Storm because she's.
Whatever.
So I have a question for you, and
Yeah.
you probably know him pretty well. Why did he stop working?
What?
Why did Robert Stone stop working?
You know, I think Robbie E just took the job to take a job because he's always just been a guy that's been a whore for the business and to take a payday. That's my honest opinion.
The kid can work. I don't know what he's doing. He's being wasted right now.
Yep, totally.
I always thought he could work. Always.
I believe something bigger was supposed to come out of out of this by now, maybe. I would guess, but
He's lost in the shuffle dealing with the girls. I'm telling you.
that he is. So it looks to me like Frankie Kazarian just came back to Impact Wrestling.
Yes, his contract was up at AEW last month.
Yeah, he's in the ring right now with Sammy
new-
Callahan. They just backed out the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega.
A new gimmick, right? He's dressed like
He dressed in all black. It says Elite Hunter on
yeah.
his shirt. He's
Yeah,
been doing this. He's been doing the same gimmick in AEW.
Right, but he's been working on a handshake deal at AEW. He won't sign again.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing, and God love him because he's our age.
Yeah. Can I tell you, a guy like him, I can see going and working for NXT.
Not at 49.
I can see him going to NXT.
No.
Frankie looks young still, man. Even if he is 49, he's still working these. I can see him I can see him working at NXT for a year or two, and then going and working backstage, because I guarantee that a person like Matt would love to have him working with with the guys. You know,
Frankie came a long way. I'll tell you that much.
So then we see the next match we'll talk about is Imperium versus Hit Row. Ashante, the Adonis, and Top Dollar. And I'll tell you something. Top Dollar reminds me of a more agile Funkasaurus there. What's his name there? Tyrus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved how he did like a John. He didn't do but he did like his own little cool little and big elbow drop. I was very impressed. Hit Row's growing on me, and
well, now they're faces.
Yeah.
You know, because of the whole Imperium angle and
Del Fantasma. Yeah. I like them, man. They grew on me. I think that the big guy is vastly improving week in and week out. Shante, the Adonis, he reminds me of Chad Gaspar's old tag team partner.
Yep.
Yep, they remind me of Crime Time. And I was a fan of Crime Time. I like them. It just so happened that their gimmick just wasn't. They just wrong time, wrong place.
All right. Well, so here's a little bit of a kick in the stomach. So before Bar died, they were both in talks to be brought back to WWE.
Oh wow.
That's why WWE did what they did for him, because he was about to re-sign them and bring them back.
Wow. Heartbreaking.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that match was a really good match. Then next week they announced right during the main event, which we'll talk about in a second. They announced for next week it will be Del Fantasma, meaning the two guys there. I call him Zima, but what's his name now?
Yeah, this still blows my mind that that's DJ Zima. It really does. It blows my mind because that's one person they took and completely changed it to really work the fans.
Yes.
No idea that's who it was.
Joaquin Wild is his name now. And who does he tag with? What's the dude's name?
That kid looks like an Ewok.
Yeah, that match ought to be good. I like the way they work. Zima shouldn't even be in the ring, man. You know, he legit broke his neck and was paralyzed for 3 days.
He also broke somebody else's neck and put him out of the business forever.
Oh, he did.
TNA.
Yeah. I think it happened. They both broke their necks. They're doing a spot.
Yep.
Just shows you something.
The other kid didn't. The other kid recovered, but he can never wrestle again.
So, main event of the evening puts Bronson Reed versus Adam Cole Baby. This match was hard hitting. All their false finishes were on point. Just like Bleacher Report, I'm gonna say it. This match was an A. It was right there. I'll say this for a wrestling show that I said I'm eating my own words because now that I'm remembering, I think it just had a couple of things that lagged for me in the middle, meaning promo wise.
Yeah.
But match wise, it was a solid show to begin and a solid show to end. It began the show with an A match and it ended the show with an A match.
It's very rare that NXT has a bad show. It's very rare.
Yeah.
Somebody's tired.
Oh, yeah. So what did you think of Adam Cole, Bronson Reed?
It's Adam Cole. What can I say?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You could put him in the ring. You could put Adam Cole in the ring with a broom and you have a great match.
Yeah. What did you think at the end with Kyle O'Reilly coming out? Did you think that to yourself?
They're just continuing that feud from the Indies.
Yeah. I thought that it was over, but I guess it's just beginning.
Yep.
Very interesting.
They feuded so much in the Indies. They were the talk of the Indies. That's why they got signed. They like them two literally, them two did what you and I used to do: beat the crap out of each other and hug at the end of the night. So yeah, it's gonna be that feud's gonna be on point.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what WWE does with it. All right, so we'll wrap it up with the NXT results. Very good show, and I'm not sure how much and if you watched the AEW's Fight for the Fallen last night.
I caught a glimpse of it on. I watched some clips.
Okay. I thought last night the this is the one knock I've consistently had with AEW is that because they're an upstart league and they have to keep talent relevant constantly to keep the fan happy. And what they do constantly is oversaturate their show with tag team matchups. And last night they begin the show.
You don't say. Okay.
Last night they begin the show with a 10-man tag team elimination match. Now, usually
so let me ask you a question. Did you honestly think that the Bucks and Omega were going to put the Dark Order over?
I thought they were going to put Hangman Page over. Yes, I was disappointed.
It's the booking crew. That's why they went over.
I thought the match itself had segments of being for a 10-man tag team match. I like some of the stuff. They had the crowd interested. And when you get the crowd to chant the generic shit like "this is awesome" or let's keep on going, and they come up with whatever the fuck stupid things they chant. I thought for a 10-man tag team elimination match, I thought it was an entertaining match. I was disappointed that Hangman Page didn't go over. But like you said, do I expect anything different from the Bucks and Omega to not put themselves over? But then again, I look at it this way. The Bucks and Omega, along with the Good Brothers, they're supposed to be like the Bullet Club. So theoretically, they're supposed to be undefeatable. And it would be interesting to see how, if they didn't have creative control, how this would have went. So that's just the way I could look at it. But then
All right.
again, I would have liked to have seen Adam Page get over.
So here's my gripe. The AEW says they're for the fans and they do what the fans want, right? Everybody wants to see Adam Page versus Kenny Omega. And they just shot that to shit in that tag match. Okay. Because the gimmick was if the Dark Order won, he would get a title shot and the Dark Order would get a tag title shot. Now they get
Yep.
nothing. But of course, they'll fix it so Adam Page ends up fighting Kenny Omega.
Oh yes.
Okay. So I get where you're coming from, but my gripe, again, I'm not saying that who AEW has is not talented. I just think they're doing business wrong. And
Yep.
what by business wrong is the people who are running the company should not have titles and should not be over as much as they are.
Yeah, I agree. So, like I said, I agree that this match, I don't agree with Bleacher Report grading it an A, but for a 10-man tag match, I think it was a B. The way that they did a lot of there was a lot of action. And like I said, if I was a blind guy and you took me to that show last night, Mike, and you say to me, well, the only way you know it's good, Jay, is this crowd's gonna have to be reaction to you. And I gotta tell you some of the things going on as if you're watching at home with Jim Ross
Right.
and
Right,
Tony Schiavone. So as a blind guy, I'm gonna just tell you this. I'd be like, wow, I would have been saying, wow, Mike, this match sounds like it's off the fucking charts right now. It must be going crazy. So as a blind guy, I thought the match itself I'm not one, like I said, reiterate, I'm not one for tag team matches, especially 10-man Survivor Series style. And they pulled off a B with me. That's all.
No.
And they pulled off a B. If Hangman Page went over, I would have been like, dude, I'll agree with that A. Because you would have given me, A, the fan, what I wanted to see. But B, then again, how many times in professional wrestling did they not give it to you right away? Because the old school adage is, well, if I give it to you right away, what do I got you to come back for?
Right.
So,
oh, Red Sox are getting their asses handed to them, 12-0.
Yeah, hey, good. Let's get it. They always go through a streak like this. So, then we got the Ricky Starks, who he must have watched every single Rock promo growing up as a kid. This is one dude that he needs to get his own gimmick because he reminds me of if The Rock took a Duke in the fucking toilet and his shit was able to come to life. Ricky Starks would be that shit come to life. So,
and then you wonder why. And then you wonder why my gripes are with AEW. Okay, so Ricky Starks is a prime example. You just nailed it completely on the head. Get your own gimmick.
That's right. So now we got basically a back this whole thing with Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, where it's gonna go, nobody knows. Uh, then we continue with more tag team action on Fight for the Fallen as Santana and Ortiz with Conan. It seems like all of a sudden now that they have revitalized LAX uh, in AEW versus FTR with Tully Blanchard. Uh, I don't understand. Like, what the? Why is Conan all of a sudden working with AEW? Does it have to do with the working relationship between AAA and AEW that Conan is the booker, or did they sign Conan?
Uh, God, I'll wait.
What's up, buddy?
John Cena goes in every paper, every wrestling show.
John Cena goes on every wrestling show.
Yeah,
All right.
both of them.
So the working relationship between AAA and AEW is supposedly coming to an end at the end of the summer. So
Yeah.
it could be a short-term thing with Conan, unless they signed him. But from what I understand, it's just because he's the booker of AAA and he wants to put his hands in the mix.
Yeah.
Um,
Heard it. I read a tweet from him. I don't have Twitter, but I mean, I seen a tweet from him that made it to Facebook, and he was very gracious of being welcomed into their locker room, and very happy to be there. And it seems like he's very appreciative of being accepted back into the mainstream of professional wrestling. Because I
well,
heard he was on his
he's not
deathbed.
on WWE, so he's not in the mainstream.
Yeah, well, semi-mainstream fucking fans.
Call it what it is, brother. It's super indie fetch. Just call it what it is. Come on. We had this argument last night. Don't be a Forbesy.
Well, it's listen. I look at
Don't
it
be a
this way:
Forbesy.
not being a Forbesy, they have real money. Yes, they pay to be on TV. Okay, but I firmly believe if they weren't any good, they would have never been offered a second spot. Number one. Number two, they would have never been able to renegotiate new terms with them. So evidently, TNT is happy with what
For
they're
now.
getting.
For now.
Well, they're moving the product to They're moving the product to TBS
And
in a
that's when it
year.
goes. That's when it goes down.
It's going back to TBS.
So okay. They weren't offered another spot. They bought another spot. Let's get that straight.
But that channel needs to want to have you there. They were offered back that spot. They need to. You can't just buy it to be on that network. You can't just the people on there want to. They got to want to have you on.
No, I'm not. I'm not debating that. I'm just saying that they have a long ways to go to be considered mainstream wrestling.
Yeah, I think
they've done nothing to impress me. Zero.
What will it take to impress you?
Leave WWE alone and worry about your own product.
Do you think? I think. Did you hear them throw any jabs at the WWE last night?
Not per se. They did the whole Space Jam thing.
Yep.
Which I think was redundant and stupid.
It's because TNT and that network own HBO now. And HBO now has something to do with fucking Space Jam. And that other movie that came out, I think.
I I'm not sure if that's 100% true because the last I knew and the last I read is Warner Brothers own HBO now, not TNT.
But Warner Brothers is owned in the same company with TNT and TBS.
All right, so yeah, so okay, because Warner Brothers, because that's the reason why a lot of the DC movies are coming on HBO Max. Like Suicide Squad, it's being released in theaters August 6th, and it's going to be on HBO Max the same day.
Yeah, and that's why Titans is now on TNT.
Yeah.
But they're replaying it from the first 2 seasons that people
Yeah.
like me have already seen, and I'm bullshit at that.
Yep.
Because season 3 should have already been out by now. Season 2 ended 2 years ago.
Season 3 is out right now on HBO Max.
It is?
Yep. So
maybe when did season 3 start?
Last month.
Oh, then it should be on my bootleg thing then. I'm gonna have to look that up. How good season 3 been?
I haven't watched it. I don't like DC products.
Really?
The only two products I like at DC are Wonder Woman, because who Wonder Woman's played by, and Batman.
Okay. See, Teen Titans is over with me, and I love Doom Patrol. When did they do away with the DC network?
A while ago.
Okay.
Dude, I sat here last Sunday when it was raining and watched all 5 episodes of He-Man on Netflix.
Oh, that's right. He-Man came out on Netflix, huh?
Yeah, I watched. It was pretty good, actually. I haven't watched cartoons I don't know how long, but it was actually pretty good.
Oh, it's cartoon version.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Rumble, you look like Silvio from The Sopranos, smoking on an electric cigarette at the bodega with that wig. I ain't got no wig, you motherfucker. It's my real hair, bitch.
I gotta see who that is, because that's a classic line right there. That's
Who said that? Who said that?
He's a fucking
Who said it?
bozo.
James Forbes?
Yeah, Bozo said it.
Why does it just say Facebook user? Why doesn't it say his name tonight?
Why isn't he on here?
Hey, he's a pussy.
Exactly. He's got too much sand in the vagina. Because he doesn't want to float. That's why. Because he's a pink hat MFF.
Yeah. Rumble you. Come on. Oh, Jesus. I'm pressing the wrong thing. You just put it over until you found out it was me. I didn't put it over. I was laughing.
I still think it's funny, but you're still a clown. So.
What did you say?
Gonna take your wig off?
Yeah. I thought it was funny. I wasn't putting nothing over. You're out of your mind.
Somebody's got to put him over because he can't get himself over. That's for sure.
So, yeah, go do that now, Mama. So, FTR, Santana, and Ortiz could have been better. And,
well, I know Dash Wilder got hurt pretty bad.
Yeah. He opened up a cut on his arm. They had to take it home early.
What? What is he saying?
How is Anthony Russo looking in a Sox uniform? Bloom is a pussy.
Who's Bloom?
Hein Bloom is the Red Sox general manager.
He's looking pretty good at pinstripes, as far as I know.
I gotta find out what the Yankees gave for him because that's gonna piss me off even more if it was
They
very
gave
minimal.
him. They gave all minor. They gave 3 minor league players to Chicago.
And what were they in the system?
Nothing.
Really,
Yep.
three virtual nobodies.
And they got the Cubs to cover his salary for the rest of the year.
Wow, wow. Mad Max is
Going to the
going to the
Dodgers. He's
Dodgers.
going to the Padres. You moron. It's already been done. He's been traded to the Padres. Get it right. Keep up.
So then they had a good match here. Well, I don't know if it was good, but you see the future of big men in professional wrestling. Lance Archer and Haku's son, who, man, he's got to be close to 7 feet tall.
Yeah, how cool looks like a midget next to him.
Yes. I wonder if his son was a basketball player at one time.
Could have been.
Very interesting. He's still green, but man, at 7 feet tall, I don't see how Vince doesn't have these kids under contract.
I don't know. No
You
idea.
know what I just don't understand.
I
This
know
is
God. I know God is close to signing with WWE because they keep teasing it on Twitter.
okay. And that's the brothers, correct?
Yeah, they keep messing with Finn, but they keep saying "See you soon, Finn Balor," and Finn Balor's not going nowhere because he just signed a new contract.
Okay. And then the continuation of more tag team matches when they have a trios match, which pitted Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express against the Hardy Family Office. Matt Hardy is the man of 1,000,010 gimmicks, and yeah, it was. It should be called Fight for the Tag Teams because that's essentially what this show was a tag team extravaganza. Hold on. What happened? Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Forbesy, come on, Forbesy, get in here so I can abuse you. So as Jason Rebel goes and takes care of what's going on over there, Forbesy, talk to me, you clown. You're the only one watching right now. I do believe. Let's check. Let's check the old Facebook feed. No, nobody's watching. I'm by myself.
A little sad. So it's now just getting reported that Scarlett Johansson is actually going to be suing Disney over the way they released Black Widow. Specifically, this guy was just trying to impress me.
All right, this is me. This is before I get my after bypass sleeve. I stand 4'11". But this is me. All right.
6 matches I want to see if CM Punk debuts in AEW. Darby Allin. This was just teased on Dynamite. What a match. There's a possibility that within the next month we could see CM Punk, Darby, and Sting all in the same ring at one time. You would have told me this year. Don't listen to these people. Get your fucking vaccine. ICUs are filled up right now.
Okay. And just 18 days later, this is what he has to say.
I just watched Tony Fauci, CNN, and Fox tell me that people with the vaccinated people are now
All right.
spreading.
All right. Where were we? Talking about that trios
Everything
match.
good?
Yeah, everything's fine.
All right. We laugh. Oh! If it isn't Bozo, the fountain of misinformation. Take that thing off the screen, Jay.
Huh?
Take the thing off the screen.
Oh, Mad Max.
His lies, yeah, his lies about going to the Dodgers because he was traded to the Padres. Oh,
Another.
Pink cat alert! Pink cat!
So what kind of contract extension did they give him?
That I don't know, but I just know it was announced tonight that he got traded to the Padres.
Okay. So, Mr. AEW, Yankees will win what?
The East.
You are what?
Bloom did nothing, dude.
The trade deadline don't end until tomorrow.
There's
There's nothing
left.
Where did Rosario go? The other kid that pitched, the young pitcher they're in on.
Barrios?
Yes, that's it.
Probably New York. Bloom's not going
I
to.
never heard that one.
Barrios is nasty.
Well, supposedly the Sox are in on Barrios. And I can see Barrios because he's younger. And I didn't believe.
Wait a minute. Wasn't I told last night that it was definite that Rizzo and Sergio and Max were going to the Red Sox? It's a done deal.
Yes, you were. Yep.
Yeah. I believed it was. And then
the
after I
pocketed the Red Sox and got him for Dick.
I think it was the same person who told him about Sheamus and Keith Lee for the U.S. title.
I said that. I said that. And then today when I found out that it was a huge smokescreen that the Red Sox were in on him because they knew it would excite teams like the Dodgers and the Padres to up the ante.
Meanwhile, they'll be in the World Series and the Red Sox won't.
We'll see, Pig Cat.
Excuses.
We'll see, Pig Cat.
Right
Forbes,
now.
you just can't get down on them not pulling the trigger. Because let's
Yes, you
just
can,
say,
because he's a pink hat.
yeah, I hear you.
I
look at
listen, Forbes. Everything I'm getting you for Christmas, it's gonna be I'm gonna have it made too. It's gonna be a pink.
uh,
Every single team on it. It's gonna be
I
12.
could I would hate to be on a baseball team or a football team with you, Forbesy, honestly, because you'd be the kid down 1-2 to nothing in the first inning that was already probably going, "Oh shit, we first five guys we stranded two. I don't know, last four guys can't hit in our lineup, and if you do that three times, oh, we're definitely gonna lose." Like,
He'd be putting his keys
man,
away. He'd be getting changed to go home and the second inning. Oh, time to go home.
like
Lost.
set everything aside. The Red Sox were the best team in the AL East for the first half of the season. Okay, with crap, with
They weren't.
crap.
I listen. I'll give the devil his due. He weren't even supposed to.
No, I'm just saying this from a sports analysis. The Red Sox had crap.
So
It was listen, hold on, Forbes. Let me finish speaking. All right.
where they
They're
going to
Forbes
get?
just fired them all out. Here we
Right.
go.
You're such a pink cat. Your blonde fucking hair is turning pink for crying out loud. I'm gonna call you the Pink Panther. That's your new
this
fucking
is great.
nickname. Listen,
Forbes, thank you for coming on to make this interesting. Go ahead, Jay.
the Sox at the All-Star break were either 52 or 62 wins, okay, with like 30 some odd losses. If you reverse that around, the Red Sox don't even have to play 500 baseball to get to not over 90 wins. If you get over 90 wins in Major League Baseball, 99.9% of the time, you make the frickin' playoffs. We did all of this with a Frenchie Cordero, with a fucking Hernan, I'm not talking Kike, but I'm talking the other two jamokes that are in and out. We done this with the turnstile at first base and second base. And Chris Sale is slated to come back at the end of August and is pitching really well right now.
Let's
So
see how
to me,
Let's see how Frenchie Cadero's doing in September.
who cares about Frenchie Cordero?
Dude,
Not playing
listen,
right now.
Hey, Jay, hold on a second, Jay. Let me talk real quick. Dude, you live in Boston, in the Massachusetts area, and you're that shitty of a fan. At least I'm a Yankees fan. I admit it, and wear my hat proudly, no matter where I go. You pink hat motherfucker. I'm sorry. I love you, bro. You're awesome to break balls with, but you are a pink hat from the word.
Yeah, like it's discouraging. Like, and then you called me a rat last night for telling Mike.
Here we go.
And I'm gonna tell you this, dude. The reason why I said what I said is because I'm gonna be honest with you. It irritated me that you didn't want to come on the show, because the show before that, you and I had talked on lengths on how perfect the show was, with the fight back between you and Mike, having that heel and face thing, and just things that added to having a great show. And you basically said that next time, said, I don't give a fuck how good the fucking show was, because Monday Night Raw wasn't to my expectations. So I want to take my fucking Kleenex box and I want to fucking cry all by myself to my fucking Britney Spears sad ass song, for crying out loud. Ridiculous.
I haven't seen this Jason Rumble in a long time. Wow.
Just come on and talk wrestling and save your tissue box for later, you Percy.
You look like the Wicked Witch of the West without her makeup, coming to take Toto off Dorothy. With your hair.
I haven't seen Rumble that riled up in a long time. That was good. That was a good
But
rant.
man, and then
Calm down, Jay. You're gonna have a heart attack. Relax.
the Red Sox will make the playoffs. Did I say they were going to win the East with the way they had, they're probably not gonna. I expect the Tampa Bay, if anybody, I expect the Tampa Bay Devil Rays to win, or the Rays to win the AL East.
Well, let's
And
not
I
go that far. Not after what
and
the Yankees pulled off today.
and I just still look at the Rays pulling off the East, man. That's just the way I look
We'll
at it.
see. That's why they play. That's why they play 82 games.
That's right. Uh,
You calm down. Stop swearing.
so
Buddy, I don't want you out here if you're gonna swear like that.
Forbesy,
Yes, sir.
did you cover your TV and male excrement by watching AEW last night?
Oh yeah.
what did you think of the show?
I blasted a Peter North special right on my flat screen.
What did you think of the
Marks
show
will be
overall?
marks.
What did you think of AEW overall last night? Now that I have you on.
Put it this way: if I'm a casual viewer and I'm flicking through the stations and like I pass by Nikki Ash's participation trophy talk and Moxley and Gage, I'm stopping at Moxley and Gage.
Wow. You mean Jericho and Gage?
Jericho and Gage, yep.
Which, by the way, got shit on so bad on social media that
It is. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
It's pathetic how bad it got shit on.
I thought the beginning of the match was the absolute dog shits. But then once it got, like I told Mike at the beginning of the show, once it got more into Nick Gage realm where the instruments were in use, I believe the match became better.
So
And
I watched that match on YouTube. I watched that one match, okay? And I'm going to say this, and this is how sad it is, okay? That half the talent roster on AEW can't work TV, but Nick Gage can. He knew where every camera was. He did a lot of the stuff that he did at Jericho was directly at cam. He worked the crowd. He worked the cameras, and he's a freaking backyard fucking wrestler.
He did a good job.
He did. Working the crowd and working the cameras. Most certainly did. But the rest of it, no. It was the shits. It's kind of sad that a 50-year-old man, it's kind of sad that a 50-year-old man who's supposed to be the GOAT had to get in there with Nick Gage.
Well, Forbes, I'm going to say this. What casual guy is streaming the TV at per se 9:45 at night to come across that? Not really many.
No.
I thought the show myself, and I love AEW, but the one big knock that I've had against them is they scramble to keep people relevant, and what I mean by that, they produce and make the shows filled with tag team matches.
Well, and that's one of the other problems I have with them. So they don't have a core roster. They're trying to make everybody happy and get everybody on TV. They're signing all these people. Now, just per se that they actually did sign Punk. And I do firmly believe that they signed Danielson. Do you think they're not gonna put them two on TV and say, oh, well, we have other people that are ahead of you? God, no. People are gonna get bumped. People are gonna get bumped to Rampage. People are gonna get bumped to Dark. They have too much talent right now. And that's another problem. The same thing with WWE. WWE has way too much talent. They have people under contract that you don't even know about.
So they get bumped. So that they simple. They get bumped down to those other shows.
Yeah,
That's
but
You're missing the
can
point.
I tell you
Forzy.
something? I don't think many people watch AEW Dark.
Nobody does.
Okay, so coming to the arena early to watch that, how does that entice somebody like a Pac, who probably was assured that, hey, you'll get a great look at, but like I look at it this way right now, these WWE guys, ex-WWE guys, are the ones on top. Miro, Moxley. The next will be Aleister Black or Malachi Black.
Until he puts over Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
Because you know
but
that's going to happen.
I hope not.
Cody Rhodes is the VP of the company.
You
So
saw that
Forbes,
on his- on his sticker.
without you playing with your mouse, I thought my thoughts are you're my AEW expert. I went through it match by match already. Give me your analysis. What stood out to you with AEW? Like, give me like match number one, the 10-man elimination match between the Dark Order and
And the overrated
the
elite.
book and the booking committee. Like, what do
Those
you
two-
believe? Do you believe that the booking committee should have went over, or do you believe that Hangman Adam Page should have finally gotten his due just, and the Dark Order should have got a chance at the tag team gold?
Yeah, that was bullshit. Bullshit. No, I wasn't happy with that.
Okay.
Not at all. Hangman's got to be going over on everything right now.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Especially if they want,
I don't know if
especially if they want to keep him and re-sign him.
I don't know if they're doing that to change plans because of Daniel Bryan and Punk. And you know what I mean? Because I don't want to see Punk or Daniel Bryan going for the title at All Out. Not now.
From what I understand, Hangman Adam Page has his contract comes up in either October or November.
Yep. And it's been heavily rumored that he's going right to NXT if they don't re-sign him.
There could be a change of plans going on right now, and that could be it.
Could be, but if they're not, so the way it worked out and the angle is that if they didn't win, they'd never get a title shot. So how do you explain that? How do you feel? You don't.
I don't know. You don't.
Right. So if they want to make that kid happy and keep him around, they should have let him. They should have put him over.
I agree.
They don't care, and they only think about themselves, which is evident because they all have titles. Then the only one who doesn't have a title, is the smart one, is Cody Rhodes. But the rest of them have titles. So if he walks, he'll be in NXT the next night.
What did you think about Ricky Starks' celebration?
As soon as I saw Taz's kid in the ring, I took a shit. I mean,
Why
yes.
what makes you not like Taz's kid?
He shouldn't be on TV.
Okay.
Give us
You
the Taz.
Do you think Ricky Starks tries to be like The Rock?
A little bit. But Starks is also hurt. So, like, I mean, the FTW title's ridiculous, too.
I think Ricky Starks was.
So here's another point.
Yeah.
FTW title. They're rehashing old gimmicks from ECW.
Yep.
So how they ended up getting that title is beyond me because I do believe WWE owns everything related to ECW.
It wasn't. It was Taz's own self-titled, never created by ECW.
All right, that's what I figured. I just wanted.
That's how they got away with it. What'd you think about FTR versus Santana and Ortiz?
Loved it until Dash got hurt.
Yep.
I like something. I like Santino, Ortiz, and Santana. I think they're a really good tag team.
They should be heading for the title. They should be the next champions.
That's if the Spot Monkeys will give it up.
Now I know your favorite was your favorite. One of your favorites wrestled the other night, Mr. Lance Archer versus Haku's son, Haikulo.
I like Lance Archer.
Yep. What'd you think of Haku's son?
Definitely green. I mean, he kind of reminded me of Almost a little bit. But he's over 7 feet tall, man. He's got to get coordination of his body a little bit better. But he looks like he's like what 19 or 20. He looks really young.
Looks young.
I popped. I love Haku. You know what I mean? He's an old timer, man. But he threw that tongue and death grip on real quick. I love that. I'm sure he could still hurt somebody if he had to.
Toughest guy in the wrestling business at one point in time, man.
Legit
Toughest guy in wrestling.
I mean, when you got
Never
something
ever
like
would
that,
you would never want to fuck with him because he'd kill you.
that kid's got amazing size, and I was paying attention to because I think Archer gave him like a razor's edge finish, man. Like he did good giving up his body. You know what I mean? Like he allowed himself to go limp enough, so he didn't work stiff. Like you know what I mean? So give that kid some time. You know, hopefully he'll be something.
Is he anything in New Japan? Like,
He's in the Bullet Club.
yeah. Speaking of Bullet Club, Jay White was on Impact tonight.
There's a new member
Impact,
club too.
Impact with the crowd was interesting.
Was it
There's
the
a new member of the Bullet Club as well.
Who?
The kid that he tagged with eventually they showed.
Oh yeah, Chris Bay.
Yep.
So what do you think about Jurassic Express with Christian Cage against the Hardy Family Office? What'd you think?
I mean, outside of the broken gimmick, man, I have no use for Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Same old Matt Hardy without the broken gimmick.
I like Jungle Boy. I didn't care for it. Jungle Boy's music was over more so than anything else.
Hell yeah. Then the brand new signee to AEW, Thunder Rosa versus Julia Hart. And I believe Julia Hart is in no relations to any of the Hart family.
No,
Nope.
that was just a squash. Thunder Rosa's awesome.
Yeah. Well, the girl Julia,
I want to know how NWA let her go.
because they couldn't afford her.
Yeah, Billy Corgan. It was a peaceful split, clearly.
Well,
Foolish.
she was only on loan because they weren't doing anything during the pandemic, and then they just let her go. You know that team, NWA's lost a lot of their talent, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we get to the main event, the most talked about match probably on the internet in a while, which pits death match icon Mr. Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho. I didn't think the match was great, but I was entertained.
I can hang shit on a tree and you'll be entertained with that.
I do know this, that Bleacher Report thought it was a D. And I'll end it by reading their analysis. What makes today's wrestling landscape so much fun is the wealth of styles for fans to invest themselves in. Some love technical wrestling. Others appreciate the Japanese strong style. Some love aerial action, and others love the more story-based in-ring action you find in major North American promotions, like the WWE, for instance. Then there are those who love deathmatch wrestling, and that's totally cool. Everyone has their taste. This writer doesn't care for the uber violence of that style. So this match wasn't for me, but it wasn't meant to be. Uh, it was the next logical step in NJF's quest to make the life insufferable for Jericho, and the regard it worked. It forced him into a realm in which he had never competed against a performer who had perfected that style. Jericho overcame the challenge of Gage and now awaits a showdown of Juventud Guerrera, which that was hilarious. A world class cruiserweight who probably looks like a fat guy like me now, against whom he made his name in WCW. The nostalgia of the match and its style will be more palatable. For Gage, it marked a major milestone and opportunity to share his passion for the deathmatch style with the largest audience he has competed in front of. I said that to you earlier, Mike.
What?
That was probably the largest audience he's ever competed in front of. The match
Yeah.
with Jericho, coupled with his social media ruling showdown with Matt Cardona over the weekend, has MDK's name on his lips of fans. One of the great stories in wrestling, as documented by his appearance on Vice's Dark Side of the Ring. It is nearly impossible not to feel sense of happiness for him, and I said that. So, with that being said,
Do you remember when Jericho appeared on Raw? He made his debut and did the promo with The Rock.
yep.
Juventude's was dropped too.
What's that?
Juventude's name was dropped in that promo by The Rock.
And it's funny how Hoovertude's name was dropped with MJF too.
I think that's kind of where they got it from originally.
I wouldn't doubt it. What's old is new, as we say in the wrestling business. So,
Well, I don't know.
well, it's been fun. I feel we covered a lot of bases tonight, and I thank you very much, Forbesy, for coming on the show. Because when people get to probably the 1 hour and 20-minute mark, they'll be mightily entertained with
I thought it was great.
With me snapping. You know what, Forbes? You know who I feel like now with this headset on? That douchebag idiot that you listen to. All I need is an Atlanta Braves hat, and I can pass for him, because I snap like that.
Hey, listen. All you got to do to get an Atlanta Braves hat is go to Forbes' house and look in his closet because he's probably got one.
Here, I'll do the Jimmy Fingers. I'm gonna do my Charlotte Flair impersonation. I am Charlotte Flair. I have deleted you. I will take you on next week to be #1 contender and go on to SummerSlam and beat you and become 12-time WWE Women's Champion.
Fingers, why do you listen to that moron?
I think he's listen.
Wait,
sometimes guys.
Hold on, Jay.
Yeah, Fingers, I want to know why.
Yeah, do you think that he knows what he's talking about?
From a fan's perspective, yes. He doesn't look at it from a wrestler standpoint. He looks at it from
he's a clown. He's a fucking clown. He's clueless. You know more than he does.
I understand why.
Why?
You know what I mean?
Enlighten me.
I think he's entertaining. I think some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, if I wasn't smart to the business, more or less, I'd listen to him. I think that's one of the main reasons why I don't listen to people that don't have wrestling experience talk about wrestling.
Fingers.
Whereas
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, that's all. Like, for me, it would be hard for me to listen passionately to a person talk wrestling that just had experience from buying a ticket and watching it and watching it per se his whole life. Unless that person, say, for 10 years worked backstage for numerous independent wrestling promotions and had a grasp of what pro wrestling was.
Let Fingers talk.
He calls all the matches for House of Glory.
So
okay,
which is an indie federation, yes.
Yeah,
but he's the voice. He calls those matches.
Okay,
but,
good.
So here's my question. Because he's a commentator, he knows what he's talking about. He's never been in the ring.
I didn't that. Jay was like saying he has no no background in wrestling whatsoever. I mean,
He
that's
doesn't. He's
Okay.
a clown.
I'll be here. Here's this. Let's just say this. Would you respect Mark Green's word on professional wrestling?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what if this
So-
guy has Hey, hold up.
Wait,
What
go
if
ahead.
we don't know that this guy may have the same type of wrestling background as our friend Mark Green, who's only been a commentator, but yet has had the privilege of writing stuff backstage and being and his best friends are the boys. Like
Well, that's
this
the
is what we
difference.
don't. Yeah, so we don't know that. I don't know the guy. Forbes, he don't even know that much about. He just knows that he's a wrestling commentator. So maybe this dude might have like, you know what I mean? So like,
I would love to debate this idiot. That's what I would love to do.
go on. Hey, if he'll take a fucking email question from Forbes with the name of Jimmy Fingers, I'm sure he'll take a fucking I'm sure he'll take an email from a guy's name that says Stiff Mike.
Yeah, but I'll blow him up though. I'll send him into orbit.
Oh,
You know?
Mike, you and him might have a great battle. Who's to know? You might end up on his show for crying out loud. He might fall in love with you.
I sent fucking Fingers into orbit at one point. I could definitely send that clown into orbit.
So
I took my.
So I got some. Like I said, we'll return next week on Tuesday, and then next Saturday night I'm gonna be on with either Falaba or Ricky O, former. He's the man who started GCW, and is the original owner of Jersey Championship Wrestling.
You got to
So
get, man.
I will. Falaba's already agreed. Talked to him the other day. Told me anytime. So.
Man.
He was on tonight. So, all right, fellas, anything to part with?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who did the background for the gorilla position on Facebook? Was that you, Fingers?
Yeah, that was shit. I put that on there. I don't know, 5 years ago.
We need to change that if we want this podcast to be legit.
No.
I'm not shitting on you, but I think
I suggested it. I think I suggested it to Jay a while ago. To reflect,
because I'm starting to get into this more and more every week. So like I would love for it to go somewhere.
How did like the person who did your Jason Rumble like cartoon logo? Who did that? Did you do that?
I didn't do it.
No.
Somebody who can do it.
Yeah, we need. Yeah.
Like I would like to get so it would. That's what I was thinking. It would be like
Take the ball on.
myself, you, and Pelly because we're always on.
Yeah.
2 figures.
Yeah. Cool.
If you know somebody who can do it, Mike, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Agreed. All right, boys. I think anything else to leave us on till Tuesday night?
Yeah.
Yes. Cat, and that's all there is to it.
Buddy, my hair is real. Look.
I know it's
just
real.
because it's no under.
Comb it or something.
It's called a Italian.
Oh, how do you like it, Jay? I get accused of dyeing my beard and I don't. How do you like it?
I'm Sicilian and Italian, which means
Us Italians age gracefully. What can we say?
And it's part of the African blood from my Sicilian side of the family who had slaves. So it's like
he just pulled that out of the head. I love you, Jay.
It's part Afro.
It looks like a Daniel Boone cap, dude.
Thank you.
Really? Have you looked in the mirror, you idiot?
Look at this.
Seriously.
Listen here, Caillou. All right.
How you
He's it, he's Caillou. Caillou.
And the thing of it is, when we have this picture done as a cartoon, it's going to be Caillou.
He's Caillou, man.
You gotta throw in me shitting on WWE in your song, like.
He always shits on WWE. He calls it Sesame Street. He's always shitting on Vince's Caillou. Caillou. I hate the WWE, but I really love it behind the scenes. All right, boys. The sticky thing is, I'm always shitting on the WWE, the pink cat that is his turning pink day by day. 2 for the stink, 2 for the pink. No wonder why. He Jimmy Fingers. And then for the APOC Stiff Mike, I am the BBB Jason Rumble. We'll see you Tuesday night. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Later.
Bang!
He just jumps right off. Doesn't like want to talk.
Oh, yeah.